I grew up in a Christian home, and we attended the Lutheran church, and I was baptized as a baby. Growing up, I didn't know every detail of the Bible, but felt like I had a pretty good idea of what Christianity is from going to church and Sunday school. I had some Christian friends in high school that were kind of like role models. Stayed out of trouble and kept their nose clean, and I just figured that was the right way to live. I was never addicted to drugs. I was never an alcoholic, trying to do the right things. Wanted to live for Jesus, kind of got lost in college, kind of started seeing all the other sinful, fun ways that were out there and thought maybe I needed to try those for a while. And you know what? They kind of suck. Maybe what you see on TV and Jesus aren't exactly supposed to go side by side, but I always kind of thought maybe I'd mix them together. Like I could figure it out. I can figure out how to live out the gospel, but then still get drawn into the sin on the weekends. And that was a big struggle for me because it was like a couple nights of mistakes followed by 5 days of trying to make it right by don't do this, don't do that, So trying to essentially earn His grace through achieving forgiveness through my actions, for a series of days before I got a phone call and decided that I should go out with my friends and do something else stupid. And so I needed to find my way back to church. I felt like that was the direction I needed to go. And I moved in with my friend. He led me to this church, and he said, you should come to this church and play drums. And so I went to this church and played drums. I started going, and it just kind of just snowballed from there. And I took the perspectives class, and that was awesome. That really sort of propelled me to want to pursue my faith even more intensely, And then I met my wife, and I saw where she was at in her relationship with Christ, and I just felt like I want to be there. I want to meet her where she's at. And early on in our relationship, it was like she was leading me. That was good. It's what I needed. I needed somebody that was rooted in the faith that was going to help guide me and walk alongside me. Honestly, that really drew me to her. I think I always underestimated a godly woman and the impact that could have on your relationship and especially your future together, because Jesus is the center of that relationship, and if you're both living for God, then you're gonna make it if He's at the center, And so knowing we both valued that, I really found that as really attractive, I guess. She was awesome and just the woman I needed to meet to continue to grow in my faith. So there's a couple reasons that I felt I wanted to get baptized, and one being that I wanted to have an opportunity to share Christ with people and just tell them how He's affected my life and that He could work in your lives to do amazing things if you let Him. So that's important to have an opportunity to share that. And then it's important to me that my wife and my son have a relationship with Christ, and I feel like so much of that is going to be because of the actions I take and how I live out my life, maybe even more so than what I say or tell them, but just my walk with Christ. And so this seemed like the next step in living that out, and someday my son will be able to see that I was baptized and acting on my faith.
Many of you know Derek plays drums. He's a gifted man and uses his talents to honor the Lord here at church, but I've known Derek for a few years and know that he's also a conscientious man. Derek, it's really cool to see you kind of labor over decisions and to take them really seriously in a way that he wants to honor the Lord for what God has done in his life by grace. So Derek, I have 3 questions for you. Are you by nature and choice a sinner? Yes. Is there any hope for you apart from the work of Christ on the cross?
No.
Have you placed your faith in Jesus, in Christ alone, for your salvation?
Yes.
Then it's my joy to baptize you in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Spirit.